right? That's the end of the world. All right, it ain't talking about the whole circumference of the earth. It's talking about a rulership. You so-called white people are going into slavery. All right? That's the end of the world. The end of Esau's world. Esau being the so-called white man. The end of your world. And the establishment of the kingdom, all right, of the righteous, which is the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who you persistently try to put down. All right?
It's not the end of Ecclesiastes 1 verse 4. One generation passes away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
Yeah, one generation cometh, another one passes away, but the earth abides forever. Just like during the time of Noah, when he destroyed Noah's generation. But now you can see that we're still here, so that's an example of what it's referring to. So this thermonuclear destruction of America is not going to be the end of the whole entire earth, but just the end of the wicked generation. So let's come into the kingdom of his son.
This is the book of Daniel 2 verse 44. And in the days of these kings, so the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Yeah, so our kingdom is going to stand forever. It's never going to be destroyed and all that.
Back in Job chapter 5 verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death.
They always got to turn this way. They always got to make it really loud right when they get near us. Watch, is it that loud? Not loud. Oh, I didn't do it. Never mind. I thought it was going to get shit. I suck it.
It says, Job 5 verse 20, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. If destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
So that's how the elect is going to be. We're mentally prepared for everything that's going to come. The Most High is going to put the Spirit on us to persevere through all these trials and tribulations, temptate our temptations and all this.
Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach, and trodden under foot. Second Ezra 16 verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that
could be referring to the chip. That's one instance. Read that again.
Verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
Yeah, a lot of people are idle. They're not keeping the commandments and following the commandments of Yahweh Bashir Shah. Alright? So when you brand it with the mark of the beast, okay, which is the RFID microchip, the reason why you took that chip because you were idle. You weren't studying, you didn't have the faith. Furthermore, you weren't of the elect, okay, to resist that mark. To resist the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip.
It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach and trod on the foot.
Yeah, so if you consent unto the program of the so-called white man, the Lord's going to destroy you. That's what it means to be trodden underfoot, become dumb, become shit.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one shall leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Yeah, that's the program that 2/3 of Israel is going to take. They're going to go with the flow. So when the RFID microchip comes out in full force, they're just going to take it. Because they're going to be concerned about what they're going to put over it, food they're going to eat, how they're going to clothe and house themselves and feed themselves. They're going to be concerned about all that. We're not concerned about that. All right, we're putting all that burden on Yahweh Shah.
Verse 43, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Yeah, so this example, this is an example. The scriptures say things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. So this is an example of Jacob's trouble, okay? 2/3 of Israel are going to take the RFID microchip. They're going to consent onto whatever the so-called white man tells them to do. Whether it's accepting the RFID microchip, which is a mark of the beast, that's the breaking of the commandments, okay? The Halabashim Yahushua commandment, okay? Or whether it be breaking another law that we can keep in this society. So-called white man is going to call, which is Esau according to the Bible. Esau's biblical nationality. So-called white man's biblical nationality is Esau, Edom. All right? They're going to force or give our people the option to a point. They're just going to be forced to take the RFID microchip. All right? And if you receive that mark, the Lord is going to destroy you.
Well, it is already an option. The chip most places are already an option to take.
Well, yeah, you can
For security, for healthcare, it's just not as well known.
Yeah, because it hasn't really been that advertised, you know? It really hasn't been that advertised. I think I seen maybe one main commercial by Berry Chip, which basically is under the guise of for your health, all right? Which goes back to the so-called Obamacare, all right? Was it life sustaining? Life sustaining, life supporting, and that's what that goes back to. So, you know, that's the first guys of the chip, you know? So, but like the brother said, man, it's gonna come a point, but it's gonna be forcefully implemented, all right? And those that have the faith, they're gonna reject the chip right onto death. That's why the scriptures say, be faithful even unto death.
For whatever reason.
And also, that's a beautiful scripture because it goes to show you the spirit of the so-called white man even back then, man.
Okay.
All right? Because it says that he wanted all peoples to become one. That's the same spirit of these fucking elites, man. And that's the main reason why they want to institutionalize the chip. Having everybody being controlled and having their minds being manipulated, going against the Most High under one centralized government. All right? Under what? Esau. And the rich men of this kingdom. This wicked kingdom. Good, man.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed.
Yeah, so there you go. There's the 2/3. They're gonna consent onto this bullshit, man. For lack of faith, or for lack of knowledge.
chip over there.
Yeah, come.
All right. See, we're establishing our faith and doing the work to the best of our ability. So we got the endurance to not be in this predicament. And if it just so happens that we get thrown in a concentration camp, we still are gonna have the faith to not take the chip and be faithful unto death and do whatever is necessary, man. Basically, be a martyr for Yahweh Shah. If it comes down to it. Because there's no profit, but a terrible destruction if you take that chip and consent onto the so-called white man's New World Order. All right? And it says a good name should be rather chosen, right? So that good name represents what you stand for, man. And I'd rather stand for the truth. Your identity, right? Exactly. What do you mean? I'm gonna put in all this effort to, at the time of my death, try to consent onto the fucking devil? That's a weak fucking spirit, man. all that work that you put in, you're just gonna, because you're gonna be put to death. Don't you realize you're gonna be put to death no matter what? So if you do have that mindset, well, I'm gonna be put to death, you can't trust your enemy. This motherfucker gonna come up to you and say, well, you do get the chip, we're gonna give you a high position, you know, you have food to support your family. And you're stupid, man, you're retarded. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 16 to 69. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision.
Be had in derision. So you're gonna suffer the consequences of those actions, man. And you're gonna suffer horribly, horrifically. That's basically a point of no return, as they would say, because once you get that chip in you, there ain't no turning back. Don't even think about escaping, all right, or anything, because that's complete and utter control. All right.
It says,
so you gotta be courageous, man. You gotta be bold, all right, not proud, but bold. Courageous, man, standing for the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, but remaining humble. Alright?
it says, they that consent unto them shall
Because this thing is all about, excuse me, stomach's fucked up. This thing is about humility, man. This thing is entirely about humility. You gotta stay humble. The only way I'm going to be able to fight these fucking demons, all right, is with the strength of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And that's pursuant to having the angels encamped around me. Psalms 90, the 91st chapter. All right? The Lord's will, at that time, the Lord gives me the renewing of my strength. You know? To stand against the disease warfare that's going to come out here. Stand against the pestilence, right? And the pestilence can entail anything, man. Really, that word pestilence goes back to the word curse. And there's many pestilences, man. Many pestilences. Right? Lord can cause a stampede of animals to go through a whole city, kill thousands. All right, unheard of bugs, flesh-eating disease, bring back the pneumonic and bubonic plague. Okay, wait a minute. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. So the Lord got a lot of ways He's gonna bring in that destruction, man. Ultimately, He's gonna sum it up with thermonuclear destruction.
and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach, trodden underfoot. For there shall be...
Yeah, so Esau gonna torture you, man. Once he gets that chip in you, and you're in that concentration camp, you're gonna be tortured. Alright? And you're protesting now about this fucking GMO. Wait till they start feeding you direct poison in them concentration camps and your goddamn head explodes.
Those people that are protesting, they're afraid of death, man. They're afraid of losing their so-called civil liberties in this country.
That's right.
So when all hell breaks loose, man, when they start like cracking down on the rights, they're gonna fold, man. They're gonna consent to the devil. They're gonna take that shit. So basically, they're gonna be like, since you don't want to eat our food, then we just gonna control the whole market until you take that shit. You big and eat. It says, verse 7, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection on those that fear the Lord.
That's 2/3. Alright? It's 2/3 of you guys who didn't believe, alright, in the mark of the beast. That didn't believe that was the RFID microchip, was the mark of the beast, so you took the chip anyway. You didn't believe the words that were coming out of the mouths of the prophets, to really the words of Yahweh.